Hey guys, welcome back. So last year I had the opportunity to be taught by Pam Houston. One thing she talked about is glimmers. Now, what glimmers are exactly are the little things that you notice in your day just briefly, but they're not necessarily important. But for some reason, they resonate with you a little more strongly, or you notice them more easily than someone else might. A glimmer can be all sorts of things. It can be a memory, one of the five senses. It can be an object. It can be anything, even a memory. Now, she has this technique she uses with her glimmers. A common suggestion that writers give other writers is to sit down somewhere and just people watch. Just observe what's happening around you and write down what you see, anything you find interesting. You can use it in your story. Well, her technique is kind of like that. And collect these glimmers. If you see something interesting, write it down. Make a giant list. For example, what are some glimmers of mine? There was this squirrel on a trash can outside, and it was holding this spoon in its hand, and it was licking it and eating what was ever left over on it. And then it gets startled because I'm getting closer, and it suddenly drops the spoon. One of Pam Houston's glimmers was this bottle at this wedding she was at, and it was in this bucket of ice, and she just kept looking at it, and she didn't know why, but it stuck out to her. Later on, she realized that that bottle reminded her of her mother because of what was written on it and different kinds of things like that. So make a list of at least 5 glimmers. The more, the better. Now, you don't have to use all of them, but the point of having this list is to weave them together to make a story surrounding these glimmers. One glimmer that I had this past year was I went to the laundry room and there were some extra scraps of clothing that people forgot or whatever, they fell and they just left them there. But there was also a cute, small, stuffed owl. And besides the fact that it was the only stuffed animal in the room, other people seem to have ignored it because it's been there for at least a week and no one has claimed it. Okay. Here's one. A calendar, but it has cute little pictures for each season at the top, and then it has all the months and days of the year just going down on that one page. So it's one of those condensed calendars. Okay, so calendar, squirrel, stuffed owl. What kind of story do you think we could make with these? Let's brainstorm. Let's say our character is a girl, and this stuffed owl she received from her best friend who moved away. And I got it. They use this owl to send letters to each other, kind of like Harry Potter. So what they do is they package up the owl, they attach a letter, and they send it off like the owl is flying the letter to the friend. She's sitting in class, she hates this class, and then she opens her notebook and, oh look, there's the calendar. She starts skimming it. She sees a day that's circled. So for the whole class period, she can't pay attention even more than usual, and she really wants to leave the classroom. You can even have some conflict between her and the teacher, her paying attention. So then immediately when the bell rings, she closes her notebook, grabs her backpack, and jets out of the classroom. And then she goes to the post office, and it's the owl carrying her letter. And she immediately opens this letter and she starts walking back home or wherever she goes after school. She puts down the letter and she notices the squirrel. She also notices the squirrel is hurt. So this girl maybe calls someone for help, or She knows what to do. Either way, she gets the squirrel, she helps it, maybe keeps it as a pet, and she marks this special day on her calendar. The day she gets a pet squirrel, and the day she gets the owl letter from her friend, blah blah blah. But you could put more details in there to make it really interesting, actually. So you get the idea. You combine your glimmers and put some cool details in there, and these things become very significant to your characters in the story. I hope you find a way to use this strategy to your advantage, and good luck. Please subscribe, like, all that jazz. Until next time, bye guys.